Coffee grows cold on the kitchen table. Morning news plays to an empty room. Detective's badge feels heavier today. Another case, another life consumed.
All right, folks, welcome back to MJ on Crime. I am your host, MJ. Today, we're diving into a case that's haunted Los Angeles, and honestly the whole country, for nearly 8 decades. I'm talking about the Black Dahlia, the murder of Elizabeth Short. Now, if you've been following the show, you know we've covered some pretty dark territory before. Serial killers, forensic science, mysterious disappearances, unsolved mysteries, all that. But the Black Dahlia, this one's in a league of its own. This case is true crime royalty. They say it is one of the cases that started the true crime genre. So, let's set the scene. January 15th, 1947. A young woman's body is found in a vacant lot in L.A., not just murdered, mutilated, cut in half at the waist, drained of blood, and posed in a way that was meant to shock, and it did. The victim was Elizabeth Short, just 22 years old, an aspiring actress who'd come to California chasing the Hollywood dream. The press, always hungry for a headline, dubbed her the Black Dahlia. They painted her as this mysterious femme fatale, but the truth? She was a kid with big dreams of Hollywood, a fondness for men in uniform, and by all accounts, a tough life back in Medford, Massachusetts. The brutality of the crime, man, it rattled the city. And it would have rattled me too, even though I wasn't around back then. But I've seen cases that echo that same kind of violence. I remember one from my New York days, can't give too many details. Well, let's just say someone's head ended up on a fence post in the Bronx. That's an image you can't get out of your mind. The kind of thing that makes even the toughest agents lose sleep. The public, the media, they want answers. But sometimes the only thing you get is more questions. And with the Black Dahlia, that's precisely what happened. Now, the LAPD threw everything they had at this case. And I mean everything. Dozens of detectives, hundreds of leads, and, get this, dozens of people actually confessed to the murder. Some of them just wanted their 15 minutes of fame. Others were, well, not all there. Over the years, the number of confessions ballooned into the hundreds, but none of them stuck. There was this Army corporal, for example, who claimed he'd been drinking with Elizabeth in San Francisco, blacked out, and woke up in a cab outside Penn Station in New York. New York, mind you. The murder happened in L.A. He thought maybe he'd done it. Turns out he was on his post the day she died, not Tamitian, thousands of miles away. Then you had people decades later, like the woman who, after therapy, became convinced her father was the killer. Police dug up her childhood yard, found a rusty knife, some old tools, but nothing that tied him to the crime. The investigation was a mess, to be honest. Too many suspects, too much media pressure, and the forensic tools back then, primitive compared to what we've got now. Evidence got contaminated, leads went cold, and the case just spun out of control. It reminds me of a high-profile case I worked on in the 90s. Too many agencies, too many egos, and the real leads got buried under the noise. When you've got the press breathing down your neck and the brass demanding results, mistakes happen. And with the Black Dahlia, those mistakes might have doomed the case from the start. But here's the thing. This case didn't just fade away. It became part of LA's DNA. Books, movies, conspiracy theories, you name it. The Black Dahlia is everywhere. There's something about the combination of Hollywood glamour, real-life horror, and the total lack of closure that keeps people coming back. I mean, look at all the movies and novels inspired by it. James Ellroy's book, the 2006 film with Scarlett Johansson, this story just won't let go. And why are we so obsessed? Well, it's the mystery, the idea that someone could do something so brutal and just vanish into the night. It's like the Zodiac or Hazel Drew or any of the cases we've talked about before. People want to solve the puzzle. But there's a dark side to that, too. I think we all know of cases where the media frenzy got so out of hand that innocent people's lives were ruined. As investigators, even true crime storytellers, we have a responsibility. We can't just chase the most sensational angle. We owe it to the victims to try our best to get it right. Now, you might be wondering, has modern science made a dent in this case? Well, people have tried DNA analysis, digital forensics, all the stuff we talked about in that episode on AI and cold cases, or the episode on forensic science. Private investigators, amateur sleuths, and even retired cops have taken a crack at it. Steve Hodel, a former LAPD detective, is convinced his own father, Dr. George Hodel, was the killer. He claims to have gotten soil samples from his old family home that tested positive for markers of human decomposition. Crazy, right? A cop's dad, but still no smoking gun. The LAPD, for its part, still lists Dr. George Hodel as just one of 22 viable suspects. Oh, get this, 7 of them were doctors, which makes sense given the surgical precision of the crime. But even with all the advances in forensics, DNA, digital reconstructions, crowdsourced tip lines, nothing's broken the case wide open. And yet the fascination endures. New documentaries, podcasts, you name it. The Black Dahlia remains a significant presence in the world of true crime. So, what about new leads? Any breakthroughs? Honestly, not much that's concrete. As I mentioned, there have been soil tests, new suspects, and a lot of digital sleuthing, but nothing that has led to an arrest. Private investigators and forensic experts keep digging, sometimes literally. They use everything from chemical analysis to social media crowdsourcing, hoping for that one tip that cracks it all open. Social media has changed the game, for sure. You get tips from all over the world, people sharing theories, old photos, and even possible witness accounts. But it's a double-edged sword, lots of noise, not always a lot of signal. Still, as we know, every so often, a cold case gets solved because someone, somewhere, spots something everyone else missed. That's the hope, right? That the next breakthrough is just around the corner. All right, that's where we'll leave it for today. The Black Dahlia remains one of America's most haunting mysteries. Unsolved, unforgettable, and still casting a long shadow. Thanks for listening to MJ on Crime. I'll be back soon with another story, another case, and maybe, just maybe, a few more answers. Stay safe out there. Remember, every crime has a story. My mission, tell it.
Coffee grows cold on the kitchen table. Morning news plays to an empty room. Detective's badge feels heavier today. Another case, another life consumed. Questions pile up like autumn leaves. No wind to blow them all away. Who holds the weight of truth when lies drunk deeper than roots? Family photos sliding in the man's straight. Smiling faces high were legs beneath. Evidence bags in yellow tape mark the boundary between love and grief. Questions pile up like autumn leaves. No wind to blow them all away. Who holds the weight of truth behind closed doors and drawn curtains. Every neighbor becomes suspect when trust breaks like glass on pavement. Someone's world just changed forever, forever changed.